If I look really shiny, it's because I decided going for a 20-minute walk in high humidity heat just before filming was a good idea. I haven't done the savoury recipe in a while, let's make a savoury recipe. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another Wednesday recipe video. And today we are making chicken Baozi and they're going to be super big. Timestamps are down below and in the description if you want to skip the initial blah blah. But stick around if you want to hear a little bit about what we're making first. And this is going to be super simple, we're going to make a simple Baozi dough and the filling is going to be made with minced chicken and a few other bits and bobs. The trick is to chop your other ingredients, so various vegetables and stuff, fine enough so it incorporates nicely into the chicken mince, but not so finely so that you have some nice bits of texture in there. And also we want it to be super juicy when it steams up. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First, let's make the dough. Here I have 150 grams of plain flour. I'm going to add a tablespoonful of corn flour, and this helps make the bao dough particularly fluffy. And 1 tablespoonful of icing sugar. You can use caster sugar or granulated sugar, but because icing sugar is finer, whoops, I can't even grab any at the moment, there we go, because icing sugar is finer, again, helps with the fluffiness. We're going to add a teaspoonful of instant yeast, this is fast action or also known as easy bake yeast, and also half a teaspoonful of baking powder, again, extra fluffy. And I'm going to add half a teaspoonful of salt. Now to that I'm going to add 100 milliliters of warm water and half a tablespoonful of vegetable oil. This will give the dough a little bit extra bounce. And what I used to do at this stage is I used to mix it with a wooden spoon until it came together, and then I'd use my hands and knead it for 10 minutes until it was springy and bouncy. But now that I have my hand mixer with dough hooks, I'm just going to use that to make it combine together and to knead it for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to finish it off by hand. It's been exactly 10 minutes and this is springing back, so it's time just to transfer to our hands for the final bit. It's pretty much done. You can tell when it starts to fight back and peel away almost from the bowl, so let's get them off the dough beaters. Just going to put it onto the counter and I'm just going to knead it with my hands, just like a normal bread. And this will just take a couple of minutes now that we've used our machine, because it's done most of the work for us. So what we want to do is we want to lightly oil our bowl, same bowl that we used. Going to give it a quick spread around, pop in our dough ball, cover it with cling film, and we're going to leave this to rise until it's doubled in size. It will take different times depending on how warm or cool your room is. My kitchen is quite warm at the moment, so it will probably take half an hour to an hour. Sometimes in the winter it will take 2 hours, but just leave it until it's doubled in size, somewhere warm. Now, while we were waiting for the bun dough to rise, I was chopping vegetables, so now that I have everything prepared, let's make the filling, and we're still waiting for the dough to rise. Here I have 200 grams of chicken mince. I'm going to add a small handful of mushrooms that I've chopped up, and when I mean small handful, it ended up being 2 mushrooms because they were quite big mushrooms. This is actually a chestnut mushroom, or chestnut mushrooms. If you like shiitake mushrooms, then most people would use shiitake mushrooms because they have quite a strong flavour. I don't actually like that strong flavour. I much prefer milder mushroom flavour, so I'm using chestnut ones here, but regular, white or button mushrooms will do. 50 grams of water chestnuts, which I have chopped. This stuff you can just get in a can in water, so I just drained it and chopped it up. 50 grams of white/green cabbage. This was just normal cabbage that I cooked. So I actually boiled this and then drained it, and then I also chopped it. 2 small spring onions, also chopped finely. And here I have 3 cloves of garlic, which I had finely chopped, and also about a 2 centimetre square of ginger, which I peeled and also finely chopped. Now let's start to add some more flavour, because by itself, even with all that garlic, it would still be a little bit bland. I'm going to add a tablespoonful of light soy sauce. This is a huge bottle, we cook with it often in this home. About half a teaspoonful of chicken powder. A tablespoonful of toasted sesame oil. a teaspoonful of sugar, about half a teaspoonful of white pepper, and a teaspoonful of Chinese cooking wine. And I'm just going to give this all a good mix. As usual, I should have used a bigger bowl. And once this is all mixed, we're just going to cover it with a bit of cling film rather, and then pop it in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Our dough has doubled in size, so let's bring her back. Do my favourite bit, punch it down. Let's rescue it. And I'm going to roughly divide this into 4 sections. I'm just going to cover these with the cling film that we did not throw away, just to make sure that they don't dry out. Bring our mixture back. As you can see, I've roughly divided it into 4 big portions. I'm going to take one dough ball and flatten it out. There we go. What I've also done is I've made sure that the edges are a little bit thinner as well, because we're about to gather them up. I'm going to take a nice big ball of filling, plop it in the middle. It is huge, by the way. And I'm just going to gather it up. I've never been the best at this, especially since we are filling it so full, but I'll do my best. What we're going to do is we're going to pop this on a square of baking parchment. This will help it stop sticking. And I'm actually going to cheat with my patterns. I'm going to use the back of a knife and just score some patterns in there. Like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plop this in my steamer basket. This is a bamboo steamer, but I'm not going to do anything with it just yet. I'm just going to close it like that so the air doesn't get to it, and I'm going to continue doing that. That's all 4 done. They are very full, which is just how I like it. And now we're just going to cover them and let them rest for 10 to 15 minutes to rise a little bit more. Now we're ready to cook. I have a pan of simmering water under there. I've got my steamer on there, and we're going to steam our buns for 20 to 25 minutes. It's been 25 minutes. Let's reveal our buns. Ooh, they look good. Right, I'm just going to keep them covered, but I am going to take them off the heat just to cool for 5-10 minutes because it's scalding hot right now. I don't want to bite into one. These are huge. Right, they're still quite hot, but I'm going to risk my fingers and tear into one. Look at that, it's like half the size of my head. As you can see, I've already taken a bite for the thumbnail, of course. And also, remember not to eat the paper. Cheers. Perfectly flavoured, super juicy and flavourful. And as you can see, very generously filled. I'm getting shinier and shinier now because it's still really hot, so I'm going to sign off and just enjoy my bun. So there you go, a very generously filled chicken baozi. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video, and I hope you will join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too. I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more, and give this video a like if you liked it to help other people find it. Comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I'll see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. Gosh, it's not even the heat, it's the humidity at this point. The air is thick.